Here's how flasks work in Elden Ring. There are three types of flask. I'm going to cover the two main ones, and the other one I'm going to give a dedicated video to. But if you look down bottom left, I've got these different things. We've got the Flask of Cerulean Tears, the Flask of Wondrous Physic, and the Flask of Crimson Tears. And you start out... Ooh, I'm getting a bit rowdy there with Torrent there. But you start out, if we have a little look in our equipment here, with these two, Flask of Crimson Tears and Flask of Cerulean Tears. The first one will replenish your HP, so your red bar, if that starts running out, this will help replenish it when you drink it. The second one will replenish your FP, your blue bar, when you drink it, and it will only replenish a portion of it, but you can upgrade how effective these are, and you can also increase the number of charges that you can have for each of these. So you can see I've got 3 of the Crimson Tears, I've got 1 of the Cerulean Tears, so we're going to talk about how we increase those and also how we change the allocation of them. As you're riding around in Elden Ring, occasionally you'll find a tree like this, and underneath that tree you will find 1 golden seed for each of these weird glowing trees that you find. This particular one, the first one where you can get one, is up here, so you'll go from your starting point up to here to Gatefront Ruins, and then once you've got your Spectral Steed, if you don't know how to get that, have a little look at my other videos, you want to be zooming all the way up here, ignoring all the enemies until you get to this tree. And then you can pick up that golden seed. I'm going to show you how we use that golden seed in a moment. That will upgrade the amount of charges your flask have. But there's also another thing that you can get, which is called a sacred tier, which we're also going to talk about. And your first sacred tier you can get over here at the Third Church of Marika. So from Agil Lake North, you go all the way here, go this way, all the way up to the Third Church of Marika. This is also where you could get your Flask of Wondrous Physique. So if we have a little look there, let's go over and we will have a little look at the Third Church of Marika, and I'll show you what you're looking for to get the other thing that you get, a sacred tier. I've already actually picked this up, but I'll show you exactly where it is. It is there, so you'll see a little glowing thing there, and you'll pick that up, and that'll be your sacred tier. Now, when you've got both of those things, what you should be able to do, as long as you've gone through the starting point where you talk to Melina, is you should be able to mess around with Flask when you rest at a site of grace. So if we rest here, we'll have a little look at the menu here. And if you've got either a sacred tier or you've got a golden seed, there should be a little dot that appears next to flasks. And if you select that, it'll say, look, you can add a charge to flask. That's why I've got that little glowing icon there. And I can also increase the amount replenished by flasks. So the sacred tier was doing one of these and the golden seed was doing another. So the golden seed is add charge to flask. So you'll see this, add charge to flask. Use 1 golden seed to increase your number of flask uses. Why, yes, I would like to do that. Added a charge to Flask of Crimson Tears. I've only got 1, so you know, as we progress through the game, we'll find more of those trees, more of those golden seeds, and we'll be able to increase that more to a certain point. You can't keep increasing it infinitely. But we can also increase the amount replenished by the flasks with that sacred tier that we got at the Third Church of Marika here. So we'll do that here. Use the sacred tier to increase the amount of HP/FP replenished by your flask. Why, yes, I would like that. Thank you so much. Now, the last thing that you've got here is allocate flask charges. And what this means is I've got a total of 5 flasks that I could use, and I'm free to split them between the red one and the blue one, so the cerulean or the crimson, and it's up to me how I want to play that. So if you are more a melee user and you're not going to use your FP bar, your magic bar, you would probably put more to the red on the side there. And I'm using the D-pad to flick between these left and right, by the way. But if you're a magic user, you may want all of them in magic, or maybe, you know, a range. So I'm going to put 3 in the red and 2 in the blue there, and then just move down to confirm to do that. Allocate, yes, and that's all good. Then if I want to use any of these, if we have a little look down the bottom there, I'll just cast some magic, so you'll see that my blue bar is counting down now. So you can see that top left, there's my little blue bar. And if I move down on the D-pad to the Flask of Cerulean Tears, and then I need to remember what button it is, X, that will drink one of those, and then I will charge that back up. Equally, if I get attacked by something and I drop a bit of HP, so I'll just move forwards and see if I can find someone to attack me, we'll have exactly the same thing with the red bar. So, and we'll be able to allocate that. So let me see if I can find something to beat me up. It's not looking too exciting at the minute. What's that? That's a boar. Well, a boar might attack me. Let's see. That'll do. Thank you, boar. Oh, and you too. So you can see we've dropped a little bit there. So to replenish that, I'll just hit that bar again. So I'd move to the red one there with the down on the D-pad to do it. And then if we go back to my site of grace, when I rest, that's when those will automatically replenish. So if you fast travel, if we have a little look, we can see that they are indeed replenished there. But if you haven't fast traveled, if you just go to a site of grace and rest, they will replenish again. You don't need any special ingredients to do that. That is all good. So that's how flasks work. The last one that I will cover in a separate video, is which you can find here, the Flask of Wondrous Physique. That is something where you need to mix a couple of things together to get it to work. So you need to get some ingredients, but you can actually find that here in this location. And then we also need another tier to put into it to make sure it works properly, which I will explain in another video. So have a little look at my other videos if you want some help with that. Hopefully that helped you out. If it did, give us a thumbs up, please. Much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If you need more help with the game, have a little look around the channel. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe, and anything you want specific help on, drop me a comment. Thanks for watching.